Welcome to Smart Vision. Today, I'd like to show you
how to make history vlog videos.
You've probably seen this kind of short-form video before, a character standing on an ancient street, talking directly to the camera like a real vlog. And this type of historical time travel content combined with first-person storytelling has actually been performing extremely well on TikTok and YouTube Shorts recently. A lot of people's first reaction is, this probably requires expensive cloud-based tools or a huge amount of paid generation. But in this video, I want to break down a different approach. I'm not doing a one-click cloud API replica. Instead, I'm directly breaking down the entire local ComfyUI workflow. I developed and tested this entire workflow on a local workstation with 16 GB of VRAM. Of course, I also prepared a version of the workflow that can run on just 8 GB of VRAM. So if what you want to build isn't just a single test clip, but a workflow that can be continuously improved, this might be useful for you. Hello, welcome to Smart Vision. On this channel, I keep sharing the latest AI tutorials and practical tools. All workflows, materials, and resources from this video are on my Patreon and are available to download after you register. For supporters, I provide extra professional tools and deeper guides. If you like this content, consider subscribing and supporting the channel. Now let's get started. First, install ComfyUI. This is the main tool we'll be using in this video. Just search for it online, download the installer that matches your PC, and complete the installation. Next, open My Workflow. If you encounter missing node issues, click the logo in the top left corner, go to Extensions, Missing Nodes, and download the missing nodes. My workflow is divided into 6 groups: character and scene generation and editing, voice generation, image to video, audio and background music merging, and video upscaling. Alright, let's start with something simple. First, we need to generate a main character image. This is very easy. You can use any image generation model, or simply use GPT Image 2 or similar tools to create one. As long as you like the result, that's enough. If you want to create a particularly beautiful character, I recommend finding a LoRa you like on Civitai and pairing it with a base model. How do you use it? For example, if my base model is Flux, then the LoRa I choose should also be trained for the same base model. After downloading it, place it into the corresponding folder. Then in ComfyUI, select the corresponding template workflow and add a LoRa loading node. If it doesn't show up, press the R key to refresh. Here I choose to use Flux 1Dev together with these 2 LoRa's and DYPE for generation. You can check my other video for an introduction to DYPE. It helps Flux 1Dev generate images with much richer detail. Set the image resolution here. For vertical videos, you can use 720 x 1280. For horizontal videos, simply reverse it. There's no need to generate Ultra HD images at this stage, because we'll upscale the video in the final step. Click Generate to start rolling. You can input a number here and click Run, which determines how many images to generate. Once finished, go to the output folder and choose the one you like most as the main character. At the same time, we can also generate an ancient-style scene image for the next step. After generating the character, we need to place them back into an ancient-style environment and make them pose for a selfie. Here I'm using the latest image generation model, HyDream-O1 Image. It supports both image generation and image editing. You can check my dedicated video for more details. Here, you can set the number of reference images. Then write the prompt. For example, make the character in image 1 pose for a selfie inside the scene from image 2. Then you can generate the result. One thing to note, HyDream-O1 Image is relatively slow. If you want to save time, you can use Qwen Image Edit 2511 instead. The quality may be slightly worse, but it's dozens of times faster, so I highly recommend it. And the result looks like this, pretty solid. In fact, with HyDream-O1 Image, if your prompt isn't written well, repeatedly regenerating can greatly reduce efficiency. After generating the image, we move to the most critical step of the entire workflow, image to video. But before we begin, there are several key points I need to make clear first. This is also why I think this video is worth saving. For the entire workflow, I mainly follow 3 principles. First principle, audio and visuals must be processed separately and generated independently. For character dialogue, I use Fish Audio S2. Of course, you can replace it with other open-source TTS solutions, as long as it sounds natural and stable. As for LTX 2.3, I mainly use it for visual generation, as well as its built-in live ambience audio materials. At this point, LTX 2.3 is still one of the strongest open-source video generation models available. Its biggest advantage is that while generating video, it can also produce environmental sound. Why is this useful? The character's voice remains consistent, while the background ambience better matches the current scene. As for how to naturally merge background sounds across multiple clips, I'll break that down in detail later. Second principle, lip sync should always be handled by a specialized module. Here I use LipDub. At its core, it's based on IC LoRa conditioned on both audio and video. It's not one of those random LoRa setups where you just hope the lips happen to match. Its purpose is to make the character's mouth movement and rhythm synchronize much more reliably with speech. This is one of the key reasons AI videos can feel more human instead of looking like fake moving lips. Third principle, the workflow must be engineered into stages. This is something many people overlook. Don't enable every module at once and hit run. Most likely, you'll either run out of VRAM or end up with an unstable workflow. My approach is simple, run one group at a time. After each step, release VRAM, then move to the next module. It may seem slower, but this is actually what makes the workflow stable and scalable. If you want this pipeline to work long-term instead of succeeding only once, this step is extremely important. So next, I'll break down the full workflow step by step based on these three principles. Let's see the fish module. The goal here is simple. Generate the main voice track for the entire video. First, prepare a 10-30-second reference audio clip to clone the voice. Usually, the cleaner and more emotionally stable the reference audio is, the better the voice consistency will be later. Then input your dialogue. Fish Audio S2 supports emotion control, so you can include emotional tags in the script, excitement, lowered tone, even laughter-like expressions. For prompt writing, you can directly follow the official format, so I won't go too deep into that here. After generation, keep the output file under Audio, HTV, Voice. This will become the main voice track used throughout the entire video. Remember this one sentence. The audience remembers fish, not LTX. Because the voice extracted from LTX later may drift, change tone, or even sound like a different person, which is normal. So I usually treat LTX audio only as ambience and environmental sound, while the final dialogue track is still fish. Another parameter many people overlook is tokens. Since I only have one line of dialogue here, I set it directly to 128. If your scene contains more dialogue or a longer speech, you can increase this accordingly. But one thing is important, don't set it to 0. Because 0 means using the default maximum value. So adjusting it based on dialogue length is much more reasonable. Once everything is confirmed, you can start generation. The process is actually very fast. And after this step, the core voice consistency of the whole video is basically established. Next comes one of the most critical steps in video generation, first frame in-place identity anchoring. The core goal here is to lock in the character identity so later video generation doesn't easily cause face swaps, distortion, or broken consistency. For audio, I choose the native audio path. This allows the visual generation to reference not only the first frame, but also speech rhythm and overall conditions, making facial expression, mouth motion, and subtle rhythm feel more natural. Notice that I also added IC LoRa here for lip sync. At the same time, remember to include the character's spoken lines in the prompt. After sampling, two major files will be generated. The first is your initial video output. The second is HTV, LTX mix. Many people ignore this file, but it's actually very important. It will later be used to separate environmental sound, extracting ambience, background audio, and spatial sound generated by LTX for later mixing. If you're like me and only have 16 GB VRAM or lower, my suggestion is, don't chase quality too early. I usually keep this stage stable at around 6 seconds, 848x480 resolution, just to make sure the whole workflow can reliably produce output. Note, if it's a 6-second clip at 25 frames per second, then length should be 25 x 6 = 150. Same logic applies for other durations. If you still get OOM errors, reduce either the resolution or the clip length. Once the workflow is stable, then consider increasing resolution or adding a second refinement pass. If you want to generate longer clips, then you should consider using prompt relay. This is a very practical optimization in LTX 2.3 workflows, especially as clip duration increases. Because models like LTX gradually advance frames and latent space. When clips get too long, the model can slowly drift off topic. The first half may match the prompt, but later parts may start deviating in character motion, scene detail, or even overall atmosphere. Prompt relay solves this by continuously refeeding prompt conditions during generation. It's like constantly reminding the model, you're still generating this character, this scene, and this motion. The node itself is also very easy to use. Just insert prompt relay into the original generation pipeline. Here, you can add multiple prompts and define how many frames each prompt should persist by dragging the settings. That way, prompt conditions continuously relay into LTX during sampling. It doesn't require rebuilding the whole workflow or adding a huge module. It's essentially a semantic reinforcement node. If you're only generating short 3-4 second clips, the difference may not be huge. But for 8 seconds or longer, the stability improvement becomes very obvious. At the same time, it's best to increase steps slightly. Otherwise, the video may flicker. If flickering still happens, you can fix it in post-production by cutting out unstable sections. So my recommendation is simple. Short clips can skip it. Long clips are usually worth enabling. Next, we handle one of the most overlooked but realism-critical parts of video generation, environmental sound. Wind, distant voices, room echo, or overall sound field thickness often come from the mix track generated earlier by LTX. This is also one of LTX's biggest strengths. But here is one critical rule. The main character's voice must be removed. Because we already fixed the main voice using fish audio. That is the voice the audience remembers. So my approach is simple. Keep the environmental sound from LTX. Remove its vocal track. Here I use the vocals using MDX node to separate vocals from background sound. At this point, a complete clip is basically finished. If you want to continue building longer, continuous shots, the workflow is still straightforward. When generating the next clip, simply take the last frame of the previous video as the new starting frame, and continue generation. Here we set both the first frame and last frame. The biggest benefit is stronger identity consistency, composition continuity, and scene stability. Each clip extends from the previous one, essentially becoming progressive continuation generation. Once all clips are finished, merge them together. That's how you gradually extend a few second clip into a much longer, smoother sequence while maintaining stronger character consistency. Of course, background audio between scenes may still need post-production blending. Since it's mainly environmental noise, simple editing software is usually enough.
Welcome to Smart Vision. Today, I'd like to show you
How to make history vlog videos.
Another common type of clip is when the main character talks with NPCs in the scene. Many people think two-character interactions are difficult, because now it's not just the main character speaking. It also involves NPC presence, gaze direction, and interaction rhythm. But in reality, it's not that complicated. If the NPC also needs to speak and appears across multiple clips, I usually still use fish audio to generate the NPC's voice. But if the NPC only appears in one clip, using the native LTX 2.3 generated voice is often enough. Then place the NPC next to the main character in the first frame image. This establishes a clear two-person composition. For example, main character on the right, NPC beside them, or slightly behind. Scenes with clear spatial relationships are usually much more stable. Another important detail, the main character's gaze direction. If you want the audience to feel that the character is truly talking to the NPC, then the first frame image should have the main character looking toward the NPC, rather than staring directly at the camera. This makes LTX much better at maintaining interaction and dialogue realism. Then inside the LTX 2.3 prompt, describe the scene directly. Mention that the NPC is speaking, the main character is reacting, or add emotional and motion cues. If you want stronger control, you can even include the NPC's dialogue in the prompt. That makes the model understand which character is currently speaking. This way, the result won't feel like two static characters standing together. It becomes a real interaction scene. For example, like this.
Welcome to Rome.
Finally, video upscaling. Here we directly use NVIDIA's latest technology. It's extremely simple. Just select the video and run it. One thing to note, you need a GeForce RTX 20 series GPU or above, along with the latest GPU drivers. And the speed is very fast. Alright, that's basically the end of this technical breakdown of History Vlog. If you enjoy this kind of latest AI video workflow, technical breakdown, and behind-the-scenes analysis, remember to like and subscribe. It not only supports the channel, but also helps the algorithm recommend this video to more people interested in AI workflows. That also gives me more motivation to keep breaking down new technologies and creating more content like this. See you in the next video.